Okay, and welcome to Harrison High School, where the Springboro Panthers will be taking on the Mount Notre Dame Cougars in Division I district action. This is Bill Bretz with Bob Murphy. Bob, that's the first of 4 games today. We drew the early game today, so I guess we get to relax the rest of the day.
We had the late game last night.
I know, we had a late game last night and early game today here for ICRC-TV. You've got 2 good teams coming in here tonight. The Panthers, Springboro Panthers, coached by Tom Benjamin. He's in his 11th year there. And then Dr. Scott Rogers, what can we say about him? I mean, he has done a remarkable job with this program over the years, and he stepped away for a few years and went to Indian Hill to be with his daughter. Now he's back again, and it seems like the good old Mount Notre Dame team again.
Yeah, one thing you can count on for sure, they're going to be scrappy, they're going to play hard, and they're going to play great defense, and that's what you always get from his team.
National anthem right now.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare bombs bursting air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Nice addition there, or rendition of the national anthem here, looked by a young lady from Mount Notre Dame. So, Bob, when you look at the Springboro team, there is one person that stands out, definitely, and that is Kelly Worth. Has had a tremendous career there. She is the all-time leading scorer. And I was looking back, Bob, we actually did a game with her a couple of years ago with Springboro.
Right here.
Right here, correct, right here. And she is quite a player coming in. She averaged during the regular season 18 and a half, but during the postseason, she's averaging 26 a game. Games of 28, 17, and a season-high 33. So for Mount Notre Dame to win this game, they're going to have to put some kind of control on that young lady.
Well, yeah, and they, when I talked to Dr. Scott Rogers before the game, I said, you've seen Springboro? He goes, well, I've seen enough of Kelly Worth to know that we're going to have to make sure we can contain her. He goes, we can't let other people, we can't do everything to her and forget about other people, but we have to make sure we know where she is and where the ball is all the time. He says she can score in bunches.
Well, and she does have a nice supporting cast around her right now. As he said, the Panthers come in 22-2. They're out of the Greater Western Ohio Conference there, the GWOC Conference. And they're in the South Division, where Springboro did win that division this year, going 10-0 in the league. They've won 15 in a row right now, the Panthers have. They have Casey Hughes, a 5'6" senior. She's averages about 9 points a game. Brianna Graham, a 5'6" senior. She averages about 5 a game. Haley Crouch, a 6-foot junior, averages about 4 a game. And Jordan Deal, a 5'10" sophomore, averages about 7.5 a game. And, of course, Kelly Worth, 18.5 points average a game. When you look at what she has done in the GWOC Conference, she's 5th in steals, 3rd in field goal percentage, 2nd in scoring, and 4th in assists. So she can do it all, definitely. Mount Notre Dame, of course, Scott Rogers coached that team a few years ago. One of the things I said to him this morning is this is like the good old days here. Of course, we have many fond memories of that team about 8-10 years ago when they made a run and won 4 state championships. And Scott was behind that crew most of the time as a head coach, and then 1 year as an assistant coach. Dante Harden took over the 1 year. So they're going to be starting Abby Weeks. Abby's a 5'8 senior. She averages about 13.3 a game. Abby Voss, a 5'10 sophomore, 4.8 again. Julia Hofring, a 5'10 freshman, 16.4 a game. And, I think I had that wrong. 16.4 is, I think.
I don't have anybody.
That's 11.4. I just can't read my own writing. So, Maria Prashata, a 5'9 junior, and then Gabby Marshall, a 5'6 freshman. So he has 2 freshmen starting tonight in this or this afternoon in this game.
I talked to Scott also about, I said the good thing about playing the 11 a.m. game, you don't have to sit around all day waiting for it, so the girls don't have time to think. And he said usually on Saturdays they practice 10 to 12, so he told the girls to treat it like a regular day, and they just start the game at 11, just like they were practicing at 10.
Well, we all know that Dr. Scott Rogers' practices are much harder than any game.
We've been told that many times.
That's true. We've been told that by many of his players. So, and the Cougars got the tip here. Our officials tonight: Tim Hunsacker, Chris Estes, Dave Workman. They're out of the Dayton area. There's a 3-point attempt right off the bat. Falling down is Gabby Marshall, but she gets it.
Bashada comes out wearing the mask. I don't know if that's from an injury. Got the face mask on.
Yeah, she does. It's quite a protection right there. And I didn't get
number 5.
Number 5, Rita Graham hits the basket there. So I was looking down there for a second here. So Notre Dame with the ball and the lead. Weeks, and that is taken away. Panthers come the other direction. That's Casey Hughes with the ball. The deal. There is Worth, a little drive to the basket. She lost her dribble a little bit, but still picked it up and put it in for Kelly Worth, her first basket. And now the Panthers are up by 1 here early on in this game. Glad you join us here on ICRC-TV. A lot of basketball coming up on ICRC-TV. We'll talk about that as the game goes along. There is Prashada, and the shot is up and no good. And
it almost looked like she had lost her angle and knew she wasn't going to make the shot. Just threw it up off the backboard and grabbed it, put it back in. Smart play.
Hopefully made the stick back there. Gives the Cougars a 1-point lead. That's Worth with the ball. Nice look inside, and shot is partially blocked. Looked like by Prashada. That block was Kelly Hughes. Marshall, top of the key, rolls off the rim. Rebounded out by Deal. Deal's now coming out of the direction, trying to go coast to coast. She doesn't get it, and rebound by Voss. So the Cougars now kind of slow it down here as Gabby Marshall brings it over the timeline. Weeks. Voss, top of the key now. Weeks. Oh, that's taken away. That's stolen by Crouch. Looking inside to Deal. Crouch, though, gets the basket. It's now 6-5 game. We're back and forth here. Baseline drive, partially blocked. Battle underneath. Not Notre Dame gets it. Panthers, though, take it away. Graham. 3-point attempt. Rolls out by Hughes. Weeks now. The drive. And our first foul of the game's coming up.
Both
Haley
teams have
Crouch
a good-
picks. Oh, go ahead, Bob.
Both teams have a real good flow offensively. The ball movement, and doesn't look like they have the typical early game jitters as we played less than 4 minutes. Both teams going up and down the court, putting the ball in the basket.
Crouch picks up the foul. Weeks comes out of the game now for Mount Notre Dame, and Abby Schultz comes in, 5'9" senior. Cougars triggering in. Quickly back to Marshall. And that's Heffron with the drive and puts basket up, no good. Scramble around and taken out by Springboro. Back the other direction, there comes Worth, and Worth is fouled.
Well, Kelly Worth knows how to get to the free throw line. She's very adept at collecting points from there, 80% shooter.
The foul is on Schultz, it's her first. She gets the first one. Molly Shaneline is in the game for Springboro, and all Weeks coming back in now for the Cougars. Second attempt now by Kelly Worth. Rolls out. 6-5 now. Favor of, or 7-5, actually. It should be 7-5. There it is, they changed it. Favor of the
Good
Panthers.
ball fake by Abby Weeks. Get the foul on Kelly Worth. Anytime you can get their other team's best player an early foul, you'd like that.
Puts Weeks at the line. Weeks is an 80% foul shooter herself. Let's see this play again. Oh, yeah, she had Worth come right over the top of her. And she gets the first one. Weeks' first point of the game. She averages 13-3, as we said, during the regular season. During the postseason, she's averaging about that, too. Got them both. So it's tie ball game, 7-all here, 3:48 to go in the first quarter. Division I district, first of 4 games here today. We call this Super Saturday. We have a foul off the ball here.
They got Gabby Marshall. She was holding Kelly Worth.
Good picture there of Tom Benjamin, the Panther coach. And that is blocked.
Fashada's second block.
Actually, I think that's Heffring, I believe. Hofring, I believe. Is that what you have down, or I have my numbers wrong?
I just had her as a number. I thought Fashada was 44.
Oh, and there's it's a travel. We'll check that again. Her shot is actually 45.
Okay, then that is Heffling.
Okay, so Heffling's the one that's wearing the mask here today.
And let's give her 2 block shots so far.
That's true. Worth with the ball. Oh, a little drive. Boy, she has a nice move to the basket there. That's why that young lady has got over 1,700 career points. Leading scorer in Springboro history.
A bad angle to try to make that entry pass and resulted in a turnover. Yep, Worth walked.
Yeah. And she got the three-pointer, though.
Wasted 3.
Deal with the steal. The three-pointer no good. And Graham back in the ball game now. And also coming in the ball game is Hannah Ingram, a 5'10 senior for Springboro. Marshall bringing the ball over the timeline. She's being guarded by Graham. Weeks. Over the Pashada with the baseline drive and picks up the foul. Springboro. And foul was on Shaneline. It's team's third. It's her first. Marshall triggering in. Schultz. Marshall now. Oh. They're going to call an offensive foul. Wow.
Give Graham a lot of credit, beating her to the spot.
And that's 2 fouls now on Gabby Marshall for the freshman. And
I think Gabby was okay with the contact, then she put her right arm out kind of to stabilize herself and knock Graham to the ground.
Well, Gabby's going to have some little bench time coming up here as Madison Markham, a 5'8" junior, has come in to replace her. 2 fouls now early on Marshall. Worth, long three-pointer. That one doesn't go. And rebounded out by Schultz. Schultz with the drive to the basket, puts it up, and she's fouled. And she'll be shooting.
Springboro fouls number 5. Brianna Graham, her first.
Brianna Graham picks up her first foul, and that is the 4th one for the Panthers. And that puts Schultz at the line at 62% foul shooter. She misses the first one. Crouch back in the ball game now for the Panthers. Second attempt now by Schultz. And rolls it in. As Abby Voss comes back in now for the Cougars. And Prashada takes a seat on the bench. 9-8. Early on in this game, 1:45 to go here in first quarter. Worth with the ball, over to Ingram. Panthers being very patient right now. Graham. Cougars in a man-to-man defense. And we got a 5-second violation on Worth.
The Notre Dame defender was exactly 6 feet away, and the ref was behind Worth, so Worth never saw him counting. He had to count on, and neither one of them moved, and that's when you got the turnover.
Cougars now trying to take the lead back again. Oh, a little miss up there in the middle, but Weeks, three-point attempt, no good. Taken out by Ingram. And the Cougars break that one up. Abby Voss, credit that one steal. There's Weeks' three-pointer off the rim. Graham with the foul, or Graham with the rebound.
Got caught throwing an elbow. She was frustrated when they came down last trip. She was tangled up with one of the Mount Notre Dame players. Kind of pushed, could have got one then. She gets one, grabbing the rebound and throwing the elbow.
Well, Brianna Graham, that she's picked up her second foul. So Kennedy Lewis, a 5'6" sophomore, is in now for the Panthers. Opening up, throws the ball up in the middle of that lane there, but she is fouled. She's going to be going to the line, an 84% foul shooter. Casey Hughes picks up her first foul, and that's a 6th foul now for the Panthers. First attempt is no good. All right, Heffern's second attempt now. That one is good, and we have ourselves a tie ball game here. She has 3 points. 9 all tied. 26 seconds to go here in quarter number 1. It looks like right now the Panthers will be content to play for one shot. They're dribbling the ball but not being pressured. Now 10 seconds to go here. Worth is going to try a long three-pointer. Swishes it. Kelly Worth, wow, 8 points already, 8 of her 12 points.
I don't know how they backed off their best player.
No, she was all alone for that, and she was actually a step or so behind the three-point line too. So
I think Scott Rogers is saying that she traveled. Here's another look at it. Well, she double dribbled. Looked like she brought the ball up to her left hand, then put it back down again. But the defense just left her. They all moved to go inside, and she had a wide open look.
as he said, this is the first of 4 games here today. The second game out here today will be Lakota West against Tecumseh. And, of course, Lakota West, defending state champion, and looking just about as good this year as they did last year. And we'll see what kind of run they have. The winner of this game will play West in the regionals, so which I believe will probably be at the Nutter Center. Usually is up there. So, and then Ursuline and Wayne will have the third game of the day here. And the last game will be also covered by ICRC-TV. That will be McCallie and Mason. So those are the 4 games that are going to be covered here today, out here today, and ICRC will be at least with 2 of them. So I think the way the brackets are, it looks like Weston will be playing. Is that the way you see it?
I've got a different bracket.
Okay. Well,
I've got them.
Okay, you got Mount Notre Dame playing the McCallie Mason. Okay, got it. All right. Okay, sometimes you get, depends on when you get them off the website.
Right.
So, all right, 12-9 in favor of the Panthers. Quarter number 2 here has started, and that is Shada takes that one away. That was an easy takeaway. Weeks with the ball. It's an out to Voss. Markham's in the game also right now. I think Gabby Marshall picked up 2 quick fouls. Probably will not see any more action here in this first half. And Scott Rogers wants to call a timeout. I'm not sure if he just didn't.
Springboro went to the zone, and I don't know if the players recognize it. Sometimes they're so caught up in the moment. He just wanted to make sure the girls knew what he wanted them to do.
There's Tom Benjamin right there. He's 29th year as a head coach. He coached at Franklin boys and Franklin girls for 18 years. He's been at Springboro 11 years, 444 wins, 197 losses. Pretty darn good for a career of 29 years. And we said Worth, she has been the player of the year in the GWAC South for 3 years in a row. That's difficult to do, to be player of the year 3 years in a row. She's also the all-time leader assist at Springboro, 325 assists, 1,712 points coming into this game.
Bill, I just checked the state website, get a confirmation. The one you have is correct of who will match up. The winner of this gets the winner of Lakota West and Tecumseh.
Okay, well, see how that shakes out here. We haven't got a clear-cut winner yet in this one. And there is a long 3-pointer put up by Graham, or Hughes, is no good. So we played about almost 2 minutes of this quarter, still no score in this quarter. Remember with that 3-point lead. Trying to work off of a pick there now. Marshall is back in the ball game, interesting enough. Gabby Marshall playing with 2 fouls. Marshall looking in for Shada, no good. Should have used that backboard right there.
And once again, she lost her angle when she took that step, I think.
There's a 3-point attempt by who else?
Once
Kelly
again,
Worth.
that was Worth. Kelly Worth, no one around her. I don't understand how that happened.
Off the offensive rebound, and Worth just drains it out there.
Job of Heflin going to the basket there. I thought she'd be able to get the and one, just couldn't get it to go in.
At the line, shooting 2, Julia.
Haley Crouch picks up her second foul. Etheling drains that one. She's 2 for 3 in the game so far. There's a couple of wholesale substitutions coming in here. See Graham and Shaneline back in for the Panthers. Gets them both. So Julia is 3 for 4, 5 points. An illegal screen, is that what I hear? Or what?
No, she ran through the screen. It was Voss. Didn't try to go around it, just went right through it.
Voss picks up foul. That's first for her, 4th overall, and Panthers lose on the inbound pass. Abby Voss going to trigger it in over by our side of the floor. 5:18 to go here in the first half. Markham, there's a 3-point attempt off the rim. Rebound out by Graham. Worth. Worth did travel there. So Voss triggering in, and Markham bringing the ball over the timeline now for the Cougars. They're down 4. And looking in, and there, that was just a very bad pass right there, taken away by Deal. Graham over the Hughes. There's Worth. Worth being guarded by Voss. 3-point baseline, no good. Rebound, offensive rebound. Is it going to dribble in? No. Offensive rebound by Deal, and it just bounced around that rim. Did not go in, but
another foul on Voss.
Voss now picks up her second foul. It's the 5th for the Cougars. Deal, a 64% foul shooter, is yet to score in this game. And Voss takes a seat on the bench. Looks like Heffern's back in for the Cougars. And Jordan Deal gets her first point. Puts the Panthers up by 5, and I believe that is their largest lead of the game now at 16-11. We've played almost half of this quarter, and Mount Notre Dame is yet to get a field goal. But on the other end, Springboro only has 1.
Another unforced error for the Cougars. Trying to enter the post, threw it away.
There's Worth being guarded by Markham. Madison Markham picks up the foul. There's a lot of fouls off the ball here, off the.
Well, both teams like to be physical, and if you get that, and I think she fooled the ref. She did all kinds of body gyrations and never moved her feet.
Meanwhile, Graham is called for a travel.
The second quarter has turned into a turnover fest.
It's more turnovers than points. Markham. And that's Prashada, and she's got a basket. It's her first one for Maria. Back to a 3-point lead now for the Panthers.
Springboro contingent was looking for the travel there.
Worth kicks it back out to Deal, now back out to Worth.
Looks like Markham's entered the game with one sole duty. That's to stay within arm's length of Kelly Worth. She's not getting that wide open look that she got earlier.
No, Markham's doing a good job so far. And Worth was looking in underneath the basket, but I think it might have been off of Cougar. It was. Kara Kanish, by the way, is in the ball game. She's triggering in a junior for the Panthers. And off of Cougar foot again.
Look, Pashada might have got a piece of it.
And once again, Kanish is triggering in. Rachel Gilliam's in the game. She's 6 foot sophomore. Top of the key. Shot was no good by Graham.
Springboro foul number 3.
Here, Nash picks up the foul. That is the 8th foul now for the Panthers.
At the line, shooting one in the bonus.
Gabby Marshall is at the line.
Timeout, Springboro, their first timeout.
And Tom Benjamin's going to call a 30-second timeout here. Kind of slow things down. As we said, ICRC will be covering the Mason McCauley game here today. They also will be back out at Mason High School today, Mason Middle School, as Indian Hill will take on Taft, and that'll be a boys sectional final for them. And of course, Bob and I were
Is that
there.
the 6 o'clock game? Or
I'm not sure when it is. I know it's in the evening here, but
I know we have Hughes and Aiken in the other game, I believe.
yeah. And of course, Bob and I were out at Mason last night for the Division II district game between Marymount and Tippecanoe, and boy, what a game that was. Marymount had a 13-point lead. It disappeared, and Tippecanoe went on to win the game. Marshall with the first foul shot. And if she makes this one, she'll be having a seat on the bench. Got it. Marshall comes out. Abby Schultz comes in now for the Cougars. Now to a 1-point game, 16-15 in favor of Springboro. Casey Hughes bringing the ball over the timeline. She's met by Markham. And that's a three-pointer. And that's by Kanish. That's her first points of the game coming off the bench there. It's a three-pointer. Looked nice.
Oh, really
baseline.
nice.
Gives her Panthers a 4-point lead now. Marshall bringing the ball over the timeline now for the Cougars. 1:56 to go here in the first half. Marshall. Over the Weeks. Right now, Springboro in a 2-3 zone. And a shot is up and no good by Schultz. Just too deep under the basket there. Worth coming the other direction. I'm not sure they're going to call. They are going to call an offensive foul on Worth. And for Kelly Worth, that'll be her second foul. So 1:28 to go. Worth picks up the offensive foul. And she's going to be coming out of the game. As Manny Bakosh is in the game now. For the first time, a 5'7" freshman. So Worth is going to be sitting on the bench the rest of this quarter. Weeks, three-pointer. And
Was it on the shot or after?
Let me see if they are.
Oh. Technical foul on Springboro's bench.
Oh. I guess a little bit too much talking over there going on, you might say.
Too much jibber jabber.
That puts Weeks on the line. She's got her third foul shot of the night, 80% foul shooter. No field goals yet for
Coach
Abby.
Benjamin's throwing eye daggers at the official.
And now it's a 2-point game at 19-17, and Cougars with the ball as Weeks triggering right in front of us for Markham. And a technical foul, by the way, counted as a team foul. So they now have 10 fouls. And how about that for a drive by Evering? That's
They were all square.
19 all. There's Hughes. Oh, Hughes, nice little drive. Casey Hughes, her first basket. Springboro back on top, 21-19. Marshall down to 30 seconds to go here in this first half. Three-point Marshall, got it. Gabby Marshall. She now has 8 points and puts the Cougars back on top now. And answers the other side. I'm going to talk about that in a second, tell you what Scott Rogers was doing here because their time's running out. Scott Rogers was livid down here because Agosh was all alone in that corner.
Pashada, they fell back to 2-3 zone. She didn't know where she was supposed to be. They're yelling. They spotted a shooter up in the corner, and no one was there. And an easy look. She converted the three.
So Springboro with the 24-22 lead at half. Bob and I will be back for second half action in just a moment. Don't go away.
We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you?
You know you do.
That's why we're here. We're free and here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Picking a college, man. You and us. We go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos. Go to GetSchooled.com.
When you're out there, there's no telling what you'll find.
I see it! I see it! Oh, look at you.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Welcome back to Harrison High School here for Division I District Championship action here. You see the Panthers have a 2-point lead over the Cougars here. For Springboro, Kara Knasch with the three-pointer kind of late in the second quarter off the bench there. Hughes has 2 points. Graham has 2 points. Crouch has 2 points. Bakosh got the three-pointer right at the buzzer there for Springboro. Deal has 1 from the foul line point, and Kelly Worth with 11 points, including 2 3-pointers for Mount Notre Dame. Weeks has 4. Schultz has 1. Heffring has 7. Rashada has 2. Gabby Marshall leads the way with 8 points here. So the winner will go on. Fairmont High School, Trent Arena, is coming Wednesday for regional action here, the Sweet 16. And we're about ready to start the action here. Mount Notre Dame with the ball now, trying to tie this game up. We'll be running back those playback times at the end of this quarter. Shot it, that's short, but picked up underneath there by Voss, but she could not, she was way too deep under the basket.
Crouch did a good job of contesting it.
Worth back the other direction with the drive.
And Worth's hungry. Remember, she set out the last two and a half minutes of the first half.
Abby Voss just picked up her 3rd foul. It's Worth at the line. And she misses that one. 80% foul shooter. She is actually 1 for 3 tonight. Voss is going to be coming out of the game. Markham back in. Mount Notre Dame. Second attempt here by Worth. She got that one, so she's 2 for 4. It's a 3-point lead now for Springboro. Markham and Marshall are playing toss now. Now there's Heffing gets in there. Marshall trying to work off of a screen, but now back out again. Marshall 3-pointer. Off the rim, front part of the rim. And they're going to call. Heffing picks up the foul on the rebound. You might say, Bob, that these officials are calling it fairly close. Is that would be?
I think anytime you use your hands, that you're getting called. They're letting them bump into each other, but once you put your hands out, try to impede somebody by using your hands, you're getting called. But I think they're calling it both ways that way.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So you really can't complain if each team's getting the shaft, so to speak.
Hughes. Back out to Worth. Worth there. Markham's on Worth. There's a 3-point attempt. Oh, way off the rim there by Crouch. Back the other direction. You know, since Madison Markham has come in the game, she has done a very good job on Worth.
Yeah, I think that's all she's concentrated on is trying to slow down Kelly Worth.
And there's a
nice move.
Nice move by Heffring. That's her 9th point. And now it's a 1-point lead, but there's Worth, though. Just as we said, she's doing a good job. Worth just got loose there.
Head down, go to the basket. She's got 14 now.
Averaging 26 in the postseason in 3 games. Well, that's not a good shot by Mount Notre Dame. Back the other direction comes Worth and rolls it in, and Worth now has 2 straight baskets. I think that might have been a bad luck there for saying about Markham, but both of those were just breakaways.
They got Abby Weeks on the foul. Markham, of course, when you concentrate playing defense like that, you have to be given some breaks because you're expending so much energy on that. You get a little tired, and I think Markham was just run down.
Worth has 6 in this quarter. She scores in spurts. She has 17 for the game. 6-point lead, I believe, is the longest lead now for the Panthers. And that's knocked out of bounds by Crouch. Weeks going to trigger it in right by the Mount Notre Dame bench. There's another little spin move, and that's move. That's 2 in a row for her. 4-point lead. Worth kicks it out to Hughes, back to Worth. Looking inside now, back out to Hughes again. Kind of a little in and out play there by the Panthers. I believe, Bob, the rule reads, and I've noticed that Tom Benjamin has not been off the bench since the technical, but once you get a technical, you can't come off the bench. Is that correct?
I think you got to stay seated. Cougars had a chance to cut it to 2 and didn't get a real good shot.
Hughes. There's a little drive by Jordan Deal. Deal gets her first basket, her 3rd point. 6-point lead now again. Almost taken away, and now is taken away. Worth coming around one. Had 2 Cougars with her coming down the floor there. 2 Cougars and a Panther.
That was a great effort save there to stop the easy basket from Worth.
2 Cougars and a Panther. That's a real cat fight.
That is a cat fight.
So 3:57 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Springboro with the ball and with the lead. And the Cougars are in a zone again. Graham having a little bit of problem. Here's Hughes, though, drives through that. Found a seam, but wouldn't get it to fall. Weeks. Now Marshall. Markham, there's Weeks. He's trying to off of a screen now. There is Gabby Marshall. Got the 3. That's her 3rd one. She has 11 points. 32-29 Springboro. That's stolen by Weeks. Weeks back the other direction. Little 3-footer, got it. So back to a closed within 1 now. Mount Notre Dame in a bit of a run right now.
Kelly Worth is worn out.
Yeah, Kelly Worth took a slam down onto the floor there, walking slowly over to the bench. And the timeout was called. I didn't see who called the timeout.
I think the Springboro bench called the timeout.
Be their second one.
I think he saw that Kelly Worth was worn out after that last time when she had to steal. She was looking like she was gasping for air down here, and then That time she got touched after she threw the pass and flopped to the ground like a rag doll. That's usually a sign of being really tired. See her, she's really taking real deep breaths over there.
Yeah, and she's still staying on the floor. Hannah Ingram is in for the Panthers, though, 41. Worth, she has the ball, and there's her new BFF, Madison Markham. Oh, nice look underneath to Worth. Worth has 8 in this quarter, 19 for the game. 3-point lead. There's Heffering with the baseline drive. Will it count? Yes, it will. Julie has 6 in this quarter, and she's fouled. Looks like the foul is on Ingram. That's her first. All right, Julie is 3 for 4 from the foul line. She has 13 points right now, above her average. Got it. Well, she has 7 in this quarter. Worth has 8. So the bulk of the scoring by 2 players, but now we have a tie ball game. Graham. Worth. And they're going to call foul on Markham. They did call foul on Markham, a little touch foul. That's her second foul. Shane Line back in the ball game for the Panthers. Weeks back in the ball game for the Cougars. Meanwhile, Worth triggering in now for them. Springboro off of the inbounds pass. Ingram with the basket. Worth, nice look off the inbounds. Back to a 2-point lead now for Springboro. 1:28 to go. Markham drains it, and the Cougars are back on top by a point. Springboro. Worth underneath. Now she comes back out. She's triple team underneath there. Comes back out to Hughes. And I wish it was in my way, Bob. I think I was just an unforced turnover.
Errant pass benefits the Cougars.
So they just have taken the lead for the first time in a while. Now they're going to try to build on it here. 55 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Marshall drives. Shot, baseline shot, no good by Voss.
Gavin Marshall's going to have to work a little harder. She's now on Worth.
Worth with the ball, 23 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Hughes, Graham. Knash back in the ball game for Springboro. 10 seconds to go. Worth way out high. And she puts it into Shane Line missed the first one, but may get the stick back.
That was a great pass by Kelly Worth as she drew all the attention to her.
So Springboro goes back on top here to end this third quarter here, 38-37. Let's look at our playback times. I think if you stare at the screen long enough, is that going to come up? Well, we're going to see a replay of that. She looked like it was a little bit blocked right there, partially blocked, but she gets the stick back and puts it back in. So for Molly Shaneline, that's their first basket. Now, are we going to get to see, well, we got live here, but are we going to get to see our playback times for this game? And we'll just keep talking, but you can go to ICRC. There's Scott Rogers right there talking to his team. You can go to ICRC.com to find out all the information on this game, all the other games that we'll be carrying here, plus the playbacks of some of the games we've already previously done. So ICRC, busy time of the year for basketball with ICRC-TV. So we are starting quarter number 4. We are 8 minutes away to decide who's going to be moving on to the regionals. And Worth is fouled, and I'm not sure, there's 2 Cougars with her. I'm not sure who they're going to call the foul on.
Looks like they're calling it on Weeks. No, 44.
Julia Heffering, that's her second foul. Worth now. And now has 20 points. She's hit her last 3 foul shots. And we might have jinxed her on that one, but
I think she's only 3 for 6, isn't she, Bill?
she's 3 for 6, but she's made, she's 4. Oh. Looked down at my book and didn't see, but I think we had a
Crouch really closed out on the shooter to get a block on the 3-pointer.
That's what I thought with the cheer from the Springboro faithful. Weeks now triggering in for the Cougars. And we're going to call an offensive foul. Yeah.
So Voss wasn't set, tried to rub off the defender.
That is Abby Voss's 4th foul. Abby's going to come out of the game here as Pashada is back in. Worth bringing the ball over the timeline. Marshall's with her right now. Worth drives, takes it from the top of the key, in and out. Offensive rebound. Nice job by Crouch to save that ball. Now Marshall goes down in the middle there. There's a lot of yelling that something might have happened there, but Crouch gets the basket though. So 4-point lead for Springboro. And I'm not sure what happened to Marshall.
It's gone.
They lost the basketball over our table over here. So disappeared under the green of Harrison, colors of Harrison High School. Weeks over the Marshall, back to Weeks. Weeks now looking in the, there's Pashada, shot is short. And back the other direction. What? That ball is in.
Good foul by Markham right there.
So many hands right there for a few seconds. I don't know if we get to see that action again. Markham picks up her 3rd foul. And that is the 7th on the Cougars. Only 1 foul called on the Springboro.
That ended up going to Dio, and she was going to have an easy layup.
Look at this. We're going to see this again, I think.
We're going to see Pashada here. I think she had a basket.
Meanwhile, back Deal gets the first one. Jordan Deal is 2 for 3 from the line. Misses that one. Back now to a 5-point lead for Springboro. Shot too hard off the backboard by Heffering. Graham trying to bring the ball over the timeline. She finally gets it over the timeline now. Casey Hughes. There's Worth with the baseline drive, partially blocked by Marshall. I think this is the one, yeah, look how many people touch this ball. 1, 2, 3, about 4, 5. So the back to live action here, the foul was on Gabby Marshall. That's her third. Worth misses that foul shot. She's missed 2 in a row now. Sitting still with 20 points. She's got 20 of her team's 42 points. Shot was no good by Markham. And Jordan Deal picks up the foul for Springboro. It's only their second foul with 5:30 to go here in this game. Weeks got it. Nice drive by Abby Weeks. She has her 8th point and she is fouled.
That set up on the inbounds when she caught the ball and squared up to a triple threat right away. Pump fake, was able to go right to the basket.
Brianna Graham picks up her 3rd foul. Mount Notre Dame is called a timeout here. So both teams have used 2 timeouts here. So it's 42-39 in favor of Springboro. The possession clock is in favor of the Cougars right now. I'd like to have a big shout out to the people here at Harrison High School. Every year we've come here, I don't know how many years, Bob, probably 10, 12 years we've probably come here for this district, and they do such a great job of hosting us out here. This is a great facility to do it, and the people at Harrison, it's a first-class operation out here, so appreciate all their help.
This is game 1, and we're probably 60% full already, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger as the day goes on because there's 4 games, 8 really, really good teams here.
Yeah, somebody having lunch up there, you can see that, so in the stands. But it used to be, wasn't there used to be 5? There used to be 5 games here, I think.
I think at one time there was when the Cincinnati bracket was so big. I could remember Mount Notre Dame used to always go through Columbus
right.
For the regional. They were the 5th district in Cincinnati, and there were 4 districts in Dayton, and they would play the district game here and then go up there for the regional.
Right. And Weeks misses that one. She had 4 straight foul shots. Worth with the ball. And there's her partner again there in crime. There's Markham. Looks like they're switching off a little bit here. I don't think they're back into it. It looks like they're into a zone.
Springboro is trying to milk the clock right now with a 3-point lead.
4:50 and counting. Hughes. And there's a tie-up right here. Mount Notre Dame gets the ball.
Great job when she turned her back, chased her down.
And there is Heffling with another basket. She has 16 now in the game, a 1-point lead now for Springboro. There's Worth going up, and she is fouled. And we've got to see who the foul is because the player's on the floor. Looks like it was on Abby Schultz. Schultz took the worst part of that.
I thought Schultz was in position there, and the official was very definitive about his call.
Kelly Worth, 4 for 7 from the line. She now has 21 points. She's just coming off of her top game of the
she wasn't
season.
set. That was a good call when we look at the replay.
Yeah.
She got there and kind of jumped into her instead of letting her come to her.
Worth coming off of a season high 33 now has 22 in this game. Three-point lead. Well, Heffering was on the floor, so let's see if that was a foul. Jordan Deal picks up second foul. That's her 4th foul. Now Notre Dame sitting with 9 right now. Weeks gonna try a three-pointer off the rim. Deal with the rebound. The other direction comes the Panthers. And Hughes. You said, Bob, it looks like they're in no big hurry to score.
I think Notre Dame's going to have to decide what they're going to do. Are they going to try to foul? Are they going to try to, every time the ball gets, the person's back gets turned, try to double down? Because that, Weeks is the only, Worth is the only Cougar that even thinks about going to the basket.
Cross court from Graham to Hughes. There's a three-point attempt, and that is good by Casey Hughes. Her first three-pointer, her 5th point. That was a big one. It puts back to a 6-point lead now. 2:52 to go. Gabby Marshall's going to try a three-pointer. Rolls it off the rim. Worth is being double-teamed back there. Is it off of a Cougar? I say it is. And Tom Benjamin's going to call full time out here with 2:35 to go in this ball game, with his Panthers up by 6 points. As we said, Mount Notre Dame came into this game with a 13-game win streak, and Springboro came in with a 15-game win streak. The last time they lost, matter of fact, they haven't lost.
They haven't lost this year.
They haven't lost this year. North Central in Indianapolis, they lost. I think we're going to have our, we have the replay right here. So you see the three-pointer drained by Casey Hughes. So yeah, they lost to North Central out of Indianapolis, 61-54. They opened up the season, interesting enough, Bob, with 2 losses. They lost to Mason, and that one's a bad loss.
They were hammered by Mason.
60-28. My guess is maybe they did not have all of their team in there at that game, and then they lost to Beaver Creek 50-41. But it's interesting, their first win was against Pickwood, and that was 70-6. So they went from,
might have changed their defensive philosophy.
Yeah, I would guess so. A little bit. Either that or Pick was not a good opponent for them. So, but nevertheless, as I said, they come into this game 22 wins. And there is, they're really trying to, they have Mount Notre Dame, an excellent defense for Mount Notre Dame as they force and that was Madison Markham, forced the jump ball, the possession call, and it stays down Mount Notre Dame in. 2:26 to go. Cougars need some points. Weeks looking into Heffling. Oh, in and out. Wow, she got robbed on that one.
I don't think she could believe it. She had a great look at the basket, just a little strong.
Well, let's see if they're going to take the air out of the ball game.
Well, we're under 2 minutes.
Worth. And there is a tie-up underneath here. Foul's going to be on Heffering. That's her third. It's going to be the 10th foul now for the Cougars. And that will put Haley Crouch into line. First time tonight. Misses that one. She is a 76% foul shooter. Both teams are good foul shooters, but haven't had the best of nights. Not the second one. Mount Notre Dame's been much better at the foul line. They haven't had that many chances.
You get into the new gym and everything's a little different.
7-point lead. This is, I believe, the largest lead, and will that count? That was Prashada.
We're going to give her the continuation.
For Maria, that's her 4th point, and she is fouled. Jordan Deal now picks up her 3rd foul. Weeks out of the ball game. Chase Bauer is in the ball game now for Mount Notre Dame. Shada gets the foul shot. She has 5 points now. 1:30 to go. There's Deal underneath, and she is fouled. That's a knife in the heart on that one.
Well, that was just a great play. She knew she was going to get fouled. She could have just accepted it. She put the ball in her left hand so it wouldn't get blocked. Do it up high off the basket, high off the top of the backboard, and it went in. That's just giving yourself a chance to get a 3.
Marshall picks up her 4th foul for Deal. That's a big foul. Big 3-point play for them. Puts them up by 7 now with 1:25 to go. Marshall to Weeks. Weeks drives the basket. And what are they going to call?
Yeah, Deal was sliding as Weeks went up.
So they're going to call it on Jordan Deal. Now for Jordan, that's her 4th foul. Puts Abby Weeks at the line. Weeks 4 for 5 from the line. And rolls that one off. She's missed 2 in a row from the foul line. Her 2nd attempt. Oh. I think that lid is starting to get closed down there for the Cougars. There's Heffling with the steal, the Marshall. So Marshall's going to try the 3-pointer and misses everything. Shada tried to save the ball but was out of bounds.
That's it. Stepped out before she jumped to try to save it.
Scott Rogers going to call timeout here with 1:02 to go in this game. His Cougars are down 7 points. He's got to come up with something here. He's tried to stop Springboro from advancing on to the playoffs. Advancing on. Springboro, last year Mount Notre Dame lost to Lakota West in the and I believe that was in the regionals. I believe they lost. Of course, West is the eventual state champion. Springboro, they've been to the Final Four, but that was a long time ago. Back in 1978, they were finished 2nd in the state. Mount Notre Dame, they ran that run. They made to the state Final Four in 1989, and then 2004 they won. 2005 they were 2nd, and then they reeled off 4 straight championships, 6, 7, 8, and 9. They were a dynasty during that time period in there. And of course, Scott Rogers was with them during most of that run in there. I believe he was not with them in 2009. I think that's the year he did go over the Indian Hill. If I'm
was
not
that their
mistaken.
last year?
Yeah.
He was gone for that.
Dante Hart, he was an assistant with Dante for his assistant coach. Dante became the head coach. Scott, very successful over at Indian Hill, too, the years he was there, but now back at Mount Notre Dame. You know, we always call him Dr. Scott Rogers because a lot of people don't realize he is a dentist. Practice there in Madeira.
Yes, and one of the young ladies I teach with went to see him on Wednesday.
Foul by Chase Bauer, that's her first. Deal back at the line again. Deal got that one. She's 4 for 6 tonight, 64% on the season. Jordan Deal has just given her Panthers the largest lead of the game here at 9 points. 49 seconds to go here. Drive by Markham, no good. Taken right out of the air by Worth. They're not going to be in any big hurry at all. Although Mount Notre Dame's going to try the foul. And Weeks picks up her second foul. So we're going to have a march to the foul line here the last 35 seconds of the game, it looks like.
I don't think unless Mount Notre Dame throws in a 3 in the next 10 seconds, they're not going to foul.
Brianna Graham gives the Panthers her first double-digit lead of the game, 10. Graham, 85% foul shooter. After her first 2 attempts tonight, she has 4 points. Weeks drives the basket. Weeks, no good. Worth with the rebound. Back up the other direction, and there's a foul by Markham. And that'll be her 4th.
I don't think the final score is going to be indicative of how close this game actually was.
No,
it was
it's true.
Nip and tuck back and forth.
Casey Hughes, a 77% foul shooter. Her first attempt tonight is no good. And misses 2 of them. But offensive rebound by Deal. Ball out of bounds. Last touch by the Cougars. So with 20 seconds to go, Springboro is going to be moving on to take on the winner of the Dakota West Tecumseh game, which will be the game following this game. You see Coach Andy Fishman of the Firebirds down there, getting ready to go here. 10 seconds to go. Markham has just fouled out of the ball game, but I tell you what, Madison Markham she did not score points, but I tell you, she had a great defensive game here tonight. Markham, a 5'8" junior. And Worth is coming out of the ball game to a standing ovation by the Springboro faithful over there. Kelly finishes up with 22 points in this ball game, coming off of her 33-point performance, 55 points in 2 games. It's a pretty good job right there. And Maddie Baykosh coming into the game. Deal also has a seat on the bench, along with Crouch. Brianna Graham makes her first foul shot and gets them both. And now Graham comes out of the ball game. Kennedy Lewis in. So 8 seconds ago. Mount Notre Dame season is going to end here at the districts 1.6 seconds ago. As the Springboro Panthers, behind Kelly Worth's 22 points, have come up big. And your final is 57-44 in favor of the Springboro Panthers, who go to 23-2 on the season. Mount Notre Dame closes out their season 19-4. So some final comments, Bob.
Well, it was just we knew that they had to try to stop Kelly Worth, and she got her points, but her players that you don't expect things out of just played great. Deal, great game. Only scored 9 points, but seemed to get to every loose ball. Played the whole game with a smile on her face, and defensively in the second half they shut down the Cougars and limited their opportunities to score.
So there's your final, 57-44. Once again, check around on ICRC-TV because lots and lots of ball games are going to be broadcast, including one of them later on here today, the Mason-McCauley game. So for Bob Murphy and the entire ICRC crew, Jason Dudley out there in the truck today. Thanks a lot to all those guys out here, and thanks to all the volunteers. This is Bill Brett saying goodbye from Harrison High School.